Yes, go ahead. Hi, everyone. We're ready for another stimulating session
Yeah.
of Saving Souls Women's Network. And today we're going to be learning about each other through the skills of questioning. I see there is Miss Leah. Hi.
Hiya.
How are you?
Hi, sister.
Doing good. Doing good.
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 I'm
Sure.
suffering from my allergies. I have very bad allergies today.
Oh, I hate allergies. I mean, I get them too, and
Very bad season so far.
they are a nuisance. Allergies.
Terrible.
Yeah.
They're just
Do
so
you know what
annoying.
causes it? Do you know what causes your allergies? What's the cause
What is the cause of the allergies?
of your
I've been
allergies?
like this since I was a child. It's yeast, mold,
Yeah.
trees, pollen.
Yeah.
Basically, pollen. Pollen is my worst offender, and there's lots of pollen today.
It's beautiful.
So
Real spring weather.
I'm not sure
Yeah.
if we're gonna have very many people. Might just be us, because
Oh, then we can enjoy each other's company.
well, at least we could start talking to each other, so it doesn't matter who.
No, give it chance.
What?
Why isn't anyone coming?
I can't hear you, honey. Why isn't it? Oh, Vicky just came back from New York, so I'm sure she has a lot of unpacking to do.
Somebody's there.
Najette is
Oh,
going.
Lisa.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Najette is going
Lasita is
for
here.
Najette is going for her master's, so she's doing hi.
Hello, Lasita.
She's doing her thesis,
Hi.
so
Today.
that's where she's at. And Suki said she was coming, but she might have forgotten. I'm not calling people, and Shirley I haven't spoken to, so I don't know anything is possible.
All right. Well, people
We'll give it a-
know. You know. That's all you
In a
can
few
do.
minutes.
Yeah.
Lasita and Leo, I'm sorry for what happened last week. I know I don't want to bring it, but I was wrong. Thank you
Can't
for
breathe.
bearing me. Thank you.
We can bear you anytime you're sweet
Thank
enough
you.
to wait for. So
Yeah.
that's it.
And I didn't share that video with anyone. I
Okay,
kept my
thank God
promise.
for that.
Thank you so much.
Well, we say here is really basically
I'm not
personal.
perfect. I'm not perfect.
You're pretty good, so don't worry
Thank
about it. We all have our moments, right, ladies?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, good. Today we're going to learn about each other through the art of
Yeah.
questioning, and I'm hoping to have a guest speaker the next time we meet. I'm working on it,
Get speaker with them.
and Leah is supposed to be working on it too. So
I am indeed. I've posed a few questions to a few people and gotten some, sort of vague responses. Um, I I do have some people in this group even who I think could really say something quite interesting sometime about certain specific things, like I'm not putting on a spotlight, Sita, because I'm not saying don't do this next week. I'm just saying sometime in the future, you are a healer, and I would find it very interesting to hear um, your views on alternative ways of approaching illness, how to combine it with the medical model, but also how to ways that where you have actually seen that you can do engage in healing that's outside of the medical model. And I don't know if you'd be interested in anything like that.
Yes, I'd love to say something right now because this has been up for me, especially because I send Reiki long distance. And somebody that I was sending it to said I said, oh, well, I've already been doing it. And she said, well, I've been feeling better. So that was, and
Wow.
it's so easy to think that it's me. And the issue is to just be a channel so that God's healing or that person's openness to receive healing is what heals rather than me.
Right.
And
I
so
agree.
to feel like that little human ego thing which thinks, ooh, I did it. But it was so much fun once when I met a woman who I had known just peripherally before. She was fairly active in the Israel-Palestine conversations that we used to have in Santa Fe. And she'd written a book sometime. She was a hippie in the past and a very sweet woman. And she said, we met at a concert a year or two, several years ago, of an oud. Actually, it was an Arab oud player and an Israeli musician who were playing together for peace.
That's cool.
Which
Great.
is, of course, real relevant to what's happening in the Middle East right now. And she said to me, oh, my knee's been hurting so much for a whole month. And I said, oh, dear. And then when we were in the ladies' room at the intermission, I said to her, I do Reiki. Can I help you with your knee? So I rubbed my hands together and I did the Reiki. And it was just while we were waiting in a queue to get into the toilet. And then she went ahead of me or I went ahead of her. Whatever happened, I didn't see her until after the concert. And she told me that the pain had gone away completely. And that was, and I actually cried. It was like, thank you, God, for using me as an agent for your healing. And interestingly, years later, I met her, or a year or so later, I met her again at a political event. And she said, I have a problem in my hip. And I put my hands on and she felt better immediately. And I think she's just really receptive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to learn more about that.
Yes, I know that's fascinating.
So maybe you can give us some time. Hi, Barbara.
Hi, Barbara.
Hi, Barbara.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy to
Good.
see Barbara.
Yeah,
Okay.
please, sir.
So maybe
Always
in the
nice to see you,
future,
Barbara, yeah.
you could possibly give us more time, like another session on healing. Would that work for you?
I think it would be very lovely. And I think this whole idea of not seeking glory for oneself, but just being a channel is really the essence of what I would want to expand, maybe.
I
Yeah.
love
That's
that
an
idea.
it's a very interesting thing because the natural tendency, of course, of the human mind is to think, you know, if we do an action and something results from it, like we bake a cake, it turns out good, we think, I baked a good cake. Okay, you know, I mean, it's a natural thing to kind of do. But when it comes to healing, it's quite a different thing in a sense, because it's tapping into really forces that are, to my mind, quite I don't know how to even put it. It's a universal sort of God-driven, divine kind of power that I feel is divine love. And like, to my mind, you know, when people say God is love, love is God. So love, it's all of this divine love, and that's what heals. And so if to become that channel, how to do that, how to clear yourself to be able to do the channeling, and then the receptivity as well. It's very interesting, really. And I've heard different sort of some things sort of like what you said, and it's just like incredible. And it's been going on for, you know, I think ever since, not necessarily Reiki, but like indigenous people had incredible techniques for healing, you know, so they weren't just lost. You know, sometimes people think that they had nothing back then, back in those days, but they did. They could heal. They could deal with pain often. They could, you know, and because there's evidence of it in tribes that existed up until perhaps recently, ways in which healing could occur. So it's just such a big and wonderful topic
Mhm.
because we all
I
need
will
healing.
recall here one thing. You said there, Lasit, you said that the guy or he or she who asked for healing should be open. So
They have to believe,
yeah,
otherwise it doesn't
if
work.
it's here and here, uh, that we think of the healer, yeah, he has this all these techniques and divine power. Yes, believe me. But also, if that guy that isn't open and accept it with a open and believe in the healing, I guess as you said, nothing will happen. So I agree with you.
Okay.
Mhm.
The other people should be open.
Oh, you have to be open,
have the
otherwise
healing.
what's the
Yeah,
purpose? You know, there's no purpose if you're
Yeah.
not.
yeah, sure. Yeah,
And the ways in which I think it's a question that occurs to me is like, I mean, sometimes a person is like your friend, perhaps somehow sort of her life experience or who she is as a person, uh, she's just naturally quite receptive. But I do think anybody can become receptive. But how is a good question. And if you have any thoughts on that, I'd be very interested.
So that's why I hope that Lorena will possibly be our next presenter.
sure.
Okay, I don't want to
It'll be
lose,
lovely.
I don't want to lose Miss Barbara. I know she only stays for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Yep,
So,
that's right.
Right, okay, you see, I remember.
So we give you the 10
So,
minutes you will stay
Barbara,
non-stop.
we're
Go
just
ahead,
very-
sister.
I'm just very excited to see you. First of all,
Yeah.
how are you feeling?
I really can't answer that right now. So I'm still
Okay.
in the process of having tests. So I'm a little discombobulated. So
Okay, well, we can understand that. Tofi
Yeah.
has been the test man. Tofi has gone through
Yeah.
so many tests.
It comes.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
but the
fine.
end will come.
Yeah.
And once you reach that part, it'll be, if there's anything we can do, let us know. Anyone.
oh, you're so sweet. I
They're
appreciate
praying
it.
for you.
Especially
Believe me,
with,
you're on my
with
Thank
prayer
your
you.
heart,
And,
a kind heart, sweetheart.
Oh,
No
the
worries.
best, the
You will
absolute
get
guys are
it.
the best.
You will get it.
So what is everybody just asking a question? Is that what it
Oh,
is?
yes, today we're going to, and we're gonna let Barbara go first. That way her question is asked first in case she has to leave, okay? Does that sit well with everyone? Because I think that that's
Yeah.
the way we should do it. That way
Okay.
we can hear from Miss Barbara, because I miss her terribly. Okay, Barbara, what we're doing is we're asking a question that will help us learn about the others.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess my question would be, I know Lynn and Tofi do so much outreach work with many different organizations and that. I'm trying to think of something that would be passionate for me to do in the next few years if I'm lucky enough to live that long. And I'm working on that. So I would like to ask other people that are here, maybe what they do to reach out. I mean, I reach out to my family, of course, but I'm thinking of doing something, broader. And I wonder what other people do. So
Okay.
Barbara, in Connecticut, do you have an organization called Connecticut Cares?
we do.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'll tell you how we got into all these different projects. We have New York Cares.
Okay.
What we did is this is just a suggestion. We both signed on to New York Cares. I should say I did because he wasn't here at the time. That was 13 years ago.
Yeah, that's
I signed on
amazing.
I signed on to New York Cares, and they have projects in every area, whether it be to feed the hungry, or painting a school, painting inside and making a mural inside a school with other people. And I don't I have two left hands, so for me that it didn't work. Or different kinds of help projects within schools, whether it be virtual. Now everything is virtual, and our latest project is helping immigrants who just got here a while ago, and we're helping them to learn conversational English. But
That's wonderful.
it all comes through the adult. It has nothing to do with us. It all comes through the adult education section of New York Cares. So if you have,
I did that years ago. Yes.
Yeah, if you have
That's
Connecticut
something I
Cares,
should think about. Yeah.
yeah, that's something for you to think about. That's and now go ahead, Tofi.
And the good news is that you can do it virtually. And it's easy. Just go to, let's say, Connecticut
Cares.
Cares It's easy. You can just log into the sign up. Then you will check. They give you a list
Oh, there's so many different
of,
things you can
and
do.
what I love in this New York is that it's not limited. You can help seniors. You can
Help children.
children. You can teach immigrants to learn about English. You can go. Sometimes when people can move, you can go to parks, clean. You can go to farmers. It's a wide range, and I'm sure there was a lot of virtual things there. So
Right.
yes, this
I
will
play
be
bingo with
so
seniors. I
great,
love that.
so good for you. This is Samara. I'm sure.
I went into senior places. The one
Yeah.
project was to put to beautify the seniors.
Yeah.
And I helped them to put on nail polish. We gave them manicures. My other project,
Oh, that's nice.
yeah, my other
Yeah.
project was a sing along with psychiatric patients. What a
Yeah.
Oh,
challenge.
good.
Wow.
We sang along and we did songs. Everybody got a sheet of music, and regardless of their problems,
Yeah.
I guess the patients who were
Yeah.
really, really sick didn't come with us, but the others did. We had like
Yeah, I
12
was in a
they look
choir
forward to
before
it.
the
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
I was in a
Yeah.
choir before the
Everything is before
COVID, but
Yeah.
we couldn't,
Yeah.
we couldn't continue because of the COVID.
Well, that's
Yeah.
Well,
it.
that's
And
I
why
hope that
the
comes back soon, you know. I hope.
oh,
yeah.
I hope.
I assume here everything will come back in September.
Sure.
Right now, I'm teaching virtual. I'm doing everything virtually. I
Yeah.
can't do anything in person.
Exactly. Exactly.
And in both cases, virtual or physical, it's you get the sense of community. Community.
Oh yeah.
When
Oh
you
yeah.
do that, believe me, she taught me this, Marlena, and it's I can't express the feeling.
It's a
And
wonderful
this is
feeling.
what you're looking for, Barbara. It's great.
It's not what
Great. Yeah.
what Lorena
Yeah.
said. You don't it's not a feeling of being the person to say, "Oh, I did it." It makes you feel
No.
so no. It makes you feel so
No.
good inside that that's
Yeah.
all. It's not about you. It's about the other person that you're helping.
Yeah. And in fact, you get more than you think that you give. I mean, the feeling.
It's a wonderful
It's
feeling. Okay, let's
um,
go to
yeah. Okay.
Okay, how about Leah? Well, how do you feel?
Leah.
How could you answer Barbara's question? What would
Yeah.
you do if you wanted to participate?
I find that I have a variety of ways in which I mean, it depends which part of the year you're talking about, and pandemic or not pandemic, you know. I mean, that's the problem. Before the pandemic, I kind of like, in a sense, since I mean, the work I did before retiring was a combination of literary and also mental health counseling. So it was both, you know, and art. I mean, so I have a kind of a multi sort of interest in things, and I can combine them. And I could combine the poetry and the art with the mental health groups because I started 3 drop-ins in this area and a befriending service for mental health clients. And I was running all these things. But at the moment, I find, of course, the pandemic has everything that, you know, like I was in a group where we took our dogs, people who had dogs, took the dogs with people who were disabled or lonely,
Oh, I love that.
and took them out so that people who wanted the experience of a dog but didn't have one, couldn't have one for one reason or another. And we kind of shared our dogs with them, and we went for
That's
walks
great.
together. And
I love that.
they loved it.
Community.
You know, they really loved it. It made them feel so happy, and it made me happy.
Yeah.
So that was one thing. I also took my dog. It's only one thing, but I took little Addie to the senior center, and I think I don't like that word senior center because apparently it applies to me now too. But anyway, the really
Why?
senior center, the
Why?
very senior center, and I brought Addie to there. I would go there maybe, you know, once or twice a month, and let Addie see people, and people loved it. You know, they
What
loved.
kind of dog do you have, Leah?
a miniature poodle.
Oh, okay.
Aw, who
Mm.
I want
wouldn't
a
And
love a
dachshund
poodle?
so bad.
she's very affectionate. She's just, she loves people actually. And she
Yeah.
doesn't like other dogs. She just loves people though. And
Because the
That's
mom loves
cute.
people, Leah loves people, so
yeah.
true.
she it's true. She
Yeah.
really, you know. And I'm also the homelessness is an issue I'm involved in, and also food surplus, um, you know, is another issue I've been involved in. But all these things have been kind of brought to a standstill
Because of the
during
pandemic.
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
past year, and I'm probably forgetting a few things, and also some stuff online. I have been the moderator of some crisis groups, you know, because I have rape, you know, I have training in crisis training and rape crisis training and in suicide training and so forth. So I worked in that and did volunteer work with that, and also I've been a professional as well. I've been both, but more recently in my kind of semi-retirement, it's been a I've been it's my volunteer, you know, I
Right.
volunteer. And there's a group, it's called the Samaritans over here. Do you have the Samaritans?
No.
No.
Yeah, the
But
Good
anyway, this,
Samaritans. I think it's called the Good Samaritans, and but that it's not as popular as New York Kids. I never introduced it. They don't have
Yeah.
as many activities.
Okay. So
but the Samaritans, and I actually first became a Samaritan
Mhm.
back when I was like 28, I think. And so anyway, I'm really, you know, that's another thing in the community. You're not supposed to tell people you're a Samaritan, but since none of you live around here or in the UK, it doesn't really matter, because you're
really
not
know
supposed to
anything
tell
about
people in case they are afraid that they're going to call and get you and know you, and so you don't want people to know, you know.
And they shouldn't do it, period. If you know you're afraid, then what's the point in doing it?
Yeah. So you just
Okay.
don't tell. It's something you keep to yourself. You don't tell people that
Wonderful.
you're a Samaritan.
okay.
Okay, so
Um,
is it okay if we move to Lasita? Because I have
yeah, because I mean, there's
okay,
a
Lasita,
whole range of
do you
things that
have
I
any
love to do.
activities that you do that could suggest for Barbara some volunteer activities?
Um, well, I used to volunteer a lot more than I do now because now I'm really busy work-wise. So I give money more than I am doing it myself with my own energy, although I do donate some of my coaching. So I don't get money for each thing I do. So some of the ideas are to work for an organization. Like in my case, I was working with the CCA, which was the Center for Contemporary Arts. And I also worked for the Children's Museum.
Well, that's
And
wonderful.
the job I liked
That
the
sounds
best
good.
was they had a greenhouse with birds in it, birds flying free in the greenhouse. And I could stay down there and the children would come round and I'd tell them things when they came. And that was really fun.
Oh wow, I love it. That must be fun. Sounds fun.
Yeah. Natural.
Okay, anybody else have anything they want to say about that?
I have to go, so I love you
Okay,
guys.
honey, at least you
Thank
take
you,
care.
Barbara, for the
Love you.
Barbara. Thank you for the question. Thank
Okay,
you.
she's gone. Okay,
I
now,
didn't
yes,
ask my
go ahead.
question.
No, I didn't ask mine either, so.
Okay, go
I was
ahead.
gonna-
Go ahead.
No, I don't want to interrupt,
Missed you.
Leah.
Yes, Leah.
Leah.
What's your,
Do you have any
what,
question? No, I'm going around with questions again. Do you have a question you'd like to ask? I'll leave us.
oh, a
with
question. Well, I have, yeah, I do.
one will be fine for
I
right now.
love to find out about people. One question I have that occurred to me is, can you sort of isolate one of the most beautiful experiences you've ever had, and sort of share a little bit about what was so beautiful about it? something you've seen or that you experienced that was beautiful, and how it affected your life, or just something, something about that, what it was and how it affected you.
Okay.
Okay, Lucida, do you want to go first? I'm trying not to monopolize the
Okay.
conversation.
Well, I'm not remembering. Seeing the first blossoms every year of the fruit blossoms is a repeated beautiful experience that happens and that I can count on if I'm around. Actually, my partner has hay fever.
Oh, so do
So
I.
he likes to leave New Mexico in March and April. So quite often I've actually missed out on the opening of the blossoms, although the blossoms do open sequentially. So I think I still caught the apple blossom, even if I missed the peaches and the apricots or the cherries or something else. So how does it affect me? It's a reminder of the hope for the future. And then it's often very disappointing because around here we have difficult weather and it can snow. And then even though there were blossoms, there won't be fruit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can still enjoy the blossoms.
Wow.
Good.
Great.
And I'm like your partner. I can't breathe when all of this
Yeah.
happens, and I start sneezing. My eyes are running, and I become a total mess. But I can appreciate the beauty.
Yeah.
Yes, that's lovely. So it sounds like Lucy is sort of an ongoing life reminder of the of the seasons, and how the
Mhm.
season brings this beauty to you, and it's a fleeting beauty, but one which you can enjoy fully when it's
One
there,
that stays
if
with
Wow.
you.
if you're there. But you know it's there, even if you're not there, you know it's there, and that's good too.
I know they have festivals, especially in Japan, for the
Yeah.
cherry blossoms opening.
Wow.
And I think
Yeah.
the
Oh,
idea of
absolutely.
a festival
Especially
for
for
the
blueberry
flowers open is
cherries.
lovely.
There was a special festival in Japan about cherries. They go there. Oh my God. I watch a video on YouTube. It's amazing. It's so, yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
experience will be a little bit different. Okay.
Yeah.
I
That's
remember
interesting.
going to Oman to see Assam and Fatam, and the one beautiful thing was that they took me to a place which I'm not. I mean, I like the outdoors, but I'm not. It's not the same here. And all we saw were mountains, and there was a stream that you had to like walk around or walk through. Or we couldn't walk through, so we walked around. And you were like sitting in nature,
Yeah.
and all you had surrounding. Of course, I suffered, needless to say, but I had medicated myself before and after. So I just appreciated the beauty, and if I really close my eyes at any specific time, I can remember that beauty.
Yeah. And I guess there were water flows.
Oh my God, it was
rivers,
absolutely magnificent.
Yeah. We call
What
this
a
place
beautiful spot.
in Oman, we call it Asala. And Oman is in the Gulf area. All the countries around, the Gulf countries, they come to these places in Oman mountains and
Magnificent.
have their vacation here. It's known international, especially in the Arabic world. They know, yeah.
Right, and of course they had blankets, and they had all kinds of food that they brought, like a feast
Yeah.
to eat during the
Amazing.
entire time that we were out there. It was by far one of the most beautiful things that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Sitting there with people that I hardly knew, most of them, except for some
Yeah.
of the time that never stopped me, and I just could appreciate that beauty. You don't have that here. You really don't
Yeah.
have it here. I mean, I love New York in a different way, but it's nothing like that.
Yeah.
Tofi, did you have anything that happened to you
Yeah,
that
sure. I will mix between what Lesia said and you know. Anyway, I remember in spring and in summer. a place in Morocco called Ifrane City. It's the
Oh, I know. It's there.
high mountainous area in Morocco.
Mhm.
It's known by being as the highest mountain. And same thing about Oman, but better and more exciting and more beautiful. And we used to go there with my family since I was a kid, uh, in the 70s, even in the 60s, yeah. And the same feeling. And we used to go there every end of the year in December when it snows, because this place is the rarest place that it snows in Morocco. In December, my dad and mom and all my 7 brothers and sisters, we go there for December. We go 1 week at the New Year's Eve, and in summer. So summer there in France City is like spring because it's a snowy place, and it was amazing. And in summer we kept one full month, amazing waterfalls, green spaces, a lot of distraction there. And by the way, this city was built and really because of the French colonization, because there were many other places around in the mountain, but they are not as beautiful as
Yeah.
Ifrane city. There was, by the way, there was an American university there, the first American university in Morocco was there in Ifrane. It's a beautiful area, and I will never forget those beautiful moments. And in 2008, I moved from my city, Casablanca, it's like New York, and I decided, after my dad and mom passed away, so I decided to go there and live there. And just because I will never forget my childhood, I was there. So I lived in this city before I came to Agadir when I have met my mom. So I lived there 7 years just because of
Wow.
these great memories. 7 years in
Wow.
this city, and that's it.
Marvelous.
I will never forget. And every time I think of Morocco, this area, this place comes first on my mind.
Okay,
It's
thank you, Toby.
amazing, amazing.
How about you,
Yeah.
Leah? Do you want to answer your own question?
Oh, yeah. Um, I I must say there are so many beauty just I mean, the cherry blossoms brings to mind. I started a thing with my grandchildren. It's
Oh, they're so
uh,
cute.
annual cherry blossom tree hunt, and I go around Aberystwyth and I take photos and videos. Actually, I go running around like a reporter, sort of
Yeah.
saying, showing them and showing them at first. This is the trees before the blossoms come. This is the trees when they're just starting to bud. This is when the blossoms are there. And this is when they start to be pink snow. And now this is them green because we're pretty much losing them now. So but yeah, that just brought that to mind. But that's not, I don't know. I think I'm gonna choose a moment. I mean, wow. Um if I have to, just going back into the past, the most beautiful thing that ever happened in a way, the first thing that was so beautiful to me was being about 4 years old, and we were taking a summer holiday to the Blue Ridge Mountains in North Carolina. I don't know if you know them. And I had never been out of, never done such a thing. Anyway, we were just driving along and it was all flat, 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 flat. And then we got to this one point and I could see the first mountain in my life ahead of me. And I just burst into tears. It was so beautiful. I mean, I, you
I
know,
can imagine.
Yeah.
I could not believe it. This mountain.
Yeah.
I'm still to this day just, I'm in love
Yeah.
with mountains. And but I mean, I know a lot of people are, but it's just but I mean, as a child, like as a 4-year-old, it just struck me so
Yeah.
incredibly, so beautiful. And the effect it had on me is just that to this day I still remember it. And do you find, just to finish this little question off, you know, that you can actually sometimes bring these memories to you when you want to make yourself feel good,
Yeah.
you know, to improve? Can you bring these things up to yourself? Can you remember these things? And
Sure.
Of course.
Of course, yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
And it's a funny thing, it's something that goes with it, but it's not actually pertaining to a question. When Vicky was here this
Yeah.
past weekend, she saw Anna all week last week.
Yeah. We
So
met
she
them
spent the
on
week-
Saturday, on
right.
Friday.
She spent the week with Anna, and then on Friday she was leaving on Saturday. On Friday we met her in the city.
Yeah.
So I said to her, "How you doing?" She said, "Oh, I'm exhausted. I just walked so much." And she said, "I cannot wait to get home to my quiet peace
Yeah.
and my mountains." Those were the exact. And I actually understood what
Yeah,
she meant because
yeah,
that's what
yeah.
she's used to.
Yeah.
So bringing up memories that can make you feel like that peace again, it's always good.
My God.
yeah, yeah. I think it's a lovely thing to, even to sometime, if you're into list making, make a list of memories that bring you joy,
That's
and
right,
and
and
then
you
so
look at that
keep
list.
it.
That's great.
If you're feeling a little bit down, take a look at this, and
Yeah.
it might make you smile.
So the,
I
so the
agree.
other way we can use these memories is for visualization. So if
Mhm.
we're upset, it would be a good idea for us to have
Yeah.
like a place we can
Happy
go
places.
to where we feel peaceful and uplifted. So
Yes,
Definitely.
yes. It kind
Now,
of a kind of grounding thing that sort of takes us. That's right, Lucita. I think you're right.
Yeah.
And it's just, the main thing is to remember that when you're down, because when you're
Yes.
down, sometimes you start to get lost in that spiral of negativity,
Mhm.
and you got to catch yourself and do what you just said,
And you
and
can
so
you can do that, as Alicia said, by creating what we call link. You should link that time in your mind by many means,
Exactly, right.
even the smell, let's say, when
Sensory.
sensory, yes. And this link put you back automatically to that.
yeah,
People, yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah, I agree with her. Yeah,
Good question. I
yeah.
like
What's it? What if you can? So if maybe to bring up, smell
yeah,
and sight and texture,
yeah,
and just to really visualize it. To
yeah,
do that is a magical and brilliant thing to do.
yeah. Especially
My
when
only
you
problem,
slow
Asita,
sometimes.
is remembering to do it.
that's the
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Exactly. You have to remember to do
no,
it.
it's so interesting. There was a book I recently read by Rivi Neshama called Recipes for a Sacred Life. And she's very real and she's very humble. And she talks about going down and then forgetting to do the things that she would normally be uplifted by. And I find that too. It's like when I'm feeling bad, everything that makes me feel good has flown out of the window.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
I
Oh,
Right.
know.
bro, exactly.
Yeah. Then you get the
Somehow
link.
you have to sort of bring yourself back
Yeah,
into it, and that's a real, it's a real skill. It's a real
yeah.
skill to practice, I think.
Try to
But
remember that next
what's the
time.
name of how to live a sacred life, or what was it, the name of the book?
There's Recipes for a Sacred Life, but I'll write her name. She actually wrote another book that's I haven't started yet, which is for children, and it's about a slave revolt. So she's been a teacher too. Rivi
Okay,
Neshama.
I would be very pleased to see her name written down, because then I can remember it. I
Just
always
go
think
to
I'm going to
Amazon.
remember something, and I never do unless I write it down.
Okay,
I'm,
ladies.
I'm spelling everything wrong at the moment, but I'm getting it. Here it is.
Okay,
It's in
ladies.
the
Remember
chat.
that Broken Pieces is due soon. So if you haven't
Recipes
said
for a
it,
Sacred Life. That's very nice. I lovely, lovely, lovely.
It's a good title too.
It
Okay,
is.
yeah.
Now, I have my question.
I like the recipes for
Okay,
Sacred
go,
Life
go.
because it makes it sound like something that you can actually help create.
Yeah, and she has different chapters, and they're only like 2 or 3 or 4 pages each. So if I ate by myself, when I ate by myself, I'd read a chapter. And so that would be fun.
Yeah, that's lovely. Yeah. Oh, that's really
Well,
good.
see,
Is
did
that
you
just like an
like the book?
Amazon type book, or not
Yeah,
Amazon, but
I got it.
any
Yeah, I
any
got
book?
it. I get all my books through Amazon, and actually, I tend to buy used books because then Amazon is supporting individual booksellers. So it's a
Yes,
way
right.
to directly get past all the money going to Amazon.
I agree with you. If the only rare moments that's not true is when occasionally have you not found that the used books are actually more expensive than the Amazon book. That's a crazy thing, but it happens. But I will look that up. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I order them through Amazon because that way I don't have to enter my credit card information for different companies that I don't know who they are. And I feel
Yes.
Amazon is being
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
responsible about it.
Yes. I know. Well, it's a tricky time when it comes to these companies, Amazon, Facebook, WhatsApp, all these things.
Okay,
To
Okay.
know what to do.
Who, Lucita, do you have another question you want to ask, or?
Yeah, I
Yes.
do. And I can't remember the origin. Oh, it was in writing group. I go to a writing group, and um, I could also write information about that. It's Literati Academy or something. And my friend Laura Lentz, and she's created a book that you can buy too, on writing prompts and things like that.
Oh,
But
yes.
when we were talking about this, and we were thinking about, oh, it was Under the Mother. She did a special from the day before Mother's Day, and not knowing what was important to our mothers. So my question to each of you is, tell me what's most important to you.
As a mother.
No, just anything. I mean, it was just that thinking that daughters might not know what was most important to their mother because the mother was so busy overworking herself and things like that.
I'll have to think about
So
that.
your question is what is most important? Um, what is really most important to us? Is that
Yeah,
as mother.
yeah, to you as a person.
As a
As
person.
a
us as a person?
A lot
Okay,
easier.
yeah.
I like the question. I shall reflect.
Oh boy, that's a tough one, but a
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah.
Tough.
So, what's the most thing that's
Important thing to you.
to you? Yeah. Uh,
You can go. Go ahead.
yeah. The the most thing which is important to me is to keep close to my Lord, to my God. And this,
Interesting answer.
yeah, and this makes me feel closer to people and really move out my comfort zone in case there are many some trials and challenges. Back to God is my weapon to fight all the uncomfort I have. So God is more important for me than anything that I may use to go out of my comfort zone. This is the most important for me to have, yeah, like a balance in life.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is your relationship with God also the purpose of your life? Is that what gives
Among
purpose
the
to your life?
purposes, of course, yeah. Have many personal life, but when it goes dark, and also when I'm hyper happy and I have a lot of things that I wish I had and I get them, Also, I feel the closeness of God because I don't only call him or call him in bad times, but also in happy times, because I know these happy times and those great things I love and I get, it's from him. He gave that to me. And in the bad times, he is, I feel he's close to me and give me some strength to solve any adversity. In both sides, happy or sad, I feel close to God, and He's a source of release and support for me, spiritually and heartedly. Yeah.
Okay, I think mine would be never forgetting my gratitude for some of the things that I've gone through, regardless of how they turned out. But through, for me, it's through my writing to show
Yeah.
gratitude and to appreciate
Yeah.
the bad, which taught me,
Yeah.
gave me the experience that I would
Yeah.
never have had, and the good, which I'm so grateful for. So to be grateful for both, we can't always expect
Yeah.
everything to turn out the way we want it to.
Yeah.
So it's to
Yeah.
appreciate both the bad and the good, and to use both to forge ahead and to help
Yes.
others in that same respect.
Yeah.
Not everything is about a gratitude journal. It's about remembering the good and not just forgetting because you're facing bad things. Oh my God, what did that happen to me? I want to always remember the good and even the bad and how I managed to get through it. That's very
That's
important.
brilliant.
Yeah.
And it's
I like how I like the
What?
gratitude for the negative, for the dark.
balance your negatives with your positives
Sure.
because not all life is going to be positive.
And
'Cause
they can't come
I,
around. There was up, downs, up, downs,
Excellent
up, downs. Yeah.
question.
There was no
Wonderful
straight
question.
line.
That's right.
Up,
yeah,
down. Yeah.
just gratitude, gratefulness.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's it.
what's your
That's
answer to that
beautiful.
question, Leah?
Me? Is it me? Oh, um,
So
I
cute.
love her. Just love her.
most important. Wow, it's such an incredible question.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to say, I think I'm love in the sense that I didn't, because of certain experiences in my childhood and life, to a certain age, I didn't trust the word love. People would use it and they didn't love. It wasn't love. Okay. You know love when when you're touched by love. And you also know when someone's actually using ownership and using using it to manipulate and all sorts. But when I came to a wonderful experience at a certain in my 20s, I think it was, and it was like I guess it's kind of a spiritual experience of some sort of thing. I just I was just aware of my connection with everything, and how love was connecting everything together. And this love was a different kind of love than all this other love that people had spoken of so loosely and without really thinking and not meaning it totally really. Actually, they were, they were in something for their own selves. That's what it was. But this was the generosity of the universe and of just creation. And yeah, that's the most important thing to me, is that incredible love, divine. I'll use the word divine love to separate it from just which creates, which is God, which is creation, which is, you know, all of the beauty and everything that exists really, which is helping us to, as we exist here together. I don't know. That's the most important thing.
Okay,
Love.
that's beautiful.
And
We
it
learned a
heals.
lot just by hearing what everybody
Yeah.
else had to say. I mean, I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, those were beautiful answers. What would I say? I was going to say love and service, and I thought that Lynn would say service because
I know,
her
I tried.
life revolves around service. But gratitude was even better. So how? Let me say it differently. I think remembering to be kind, remembering to choose the kindest option in all the moments, and I don't always remember. And so maintaining my connection with God, with the divine, so that spirit moves through me and I'm not working against the divine plan. So easily we can get angry or frustrated and let out feelings that can be hurtful. So yeah, so that's, I think, what I would like to say.
Right.
Yes, I
Okay.
think that's very it's very worth reflecting upon, because it is so easy. Emotions, you know, being creatures of emotion. Um, we have um, so often a negative emotion will appear because that's part of survival. Really was negative emotion, yet it doesn't serve us very well a lot of the time. It's actually not necessary. So, we're not being chased by some tiger. We don't have to be frightened and angry and that we're being, harassed by, and threatened. We actually don't have to. So we can calm down and think of the kind thing. So the threat that our partner gave us through saying something that annoyed us isn't this big deal, like, being life and death matter. And yet the emotion is feeling like life and death matter. Like,
At the time,
Yeah.
right.
and so what you're saying is like, hey, yeah, I like that. It's, to me, I hear you saying to remember the kindness. And
Right.
gosh, that's hard.
Right. It is very hard. And often my partner will feel like I don't care about him because I've acted like something else is more important than he is, than taking care of the sensitive side of him. And so the issue is to be able to stand up for oneself too, and yet at the same time to do it in a way which is caring and respectful to others.
Not always easy.
Yes.
Good.
And isn't it interesting how, I mean, I think probably all of us would probably agree that our childhoods, our education system, through not just the schools, but just through the whole community, we weren't taught
No.
how to do this. No one taught the ways in which the importance of this and how you can um, regulate your emotions and show kindness to others despite having disagreements. All these are really important things. And we don't get taught that. Children don't get, it's not part
We
of
learn,
the,
we learn them by life, while living. We learn this. They are not in the system or educational. We
No
get to learn.
manual.
Yeah, yeah. There's no money for social, science. We learn while we are living in this life. Yeah.
it seems as adults, it seems that so many of us come to understand
Right.
this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
But you don't see that, yeah, and you're not taught. You can't be taught that as a child.
Yeah.
They had
It,
so, our parents had so much they were doing. while they were raising us, that they didn't take time for things like that. At least I'm not mine. I mean, they were
Mine didn't I didn't either. Quite the opposite, actually. You know, um, kindness wasn't the primary thing. It was there was a lot of punishment involved, actually, and a lot of judging and punishment, and um,
different then. It was very
Yeah.
different then. Today is
yeah,
I think that my parents, at least my father, was trying to teach me that, but he wasn't necessarily modeling it. And so that there was a difference between the words and the actions. And he was a professor of pediatrics,
oh,
and he seemed to be a very gentle man in his career, but in his home life, he was hurtful to my mother at times. And so I witnessed that. He wasn't ever, well, I think he once lost his temper or twice in his life with me, but I witnessed it with her. And so I have to know that this is something we have to really keep practicing, and we will all fall and fail at times. So
Yeah, you're right.
as long as we can pick
Sure,
up.
yeah.
Yeah.
We learn. And till now, it doesn't stop. Till our last breath, this is life. It will never stop.
Very
You
true.
know,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost the hour, but before we go, I would like to just remind Miss Leah and Lasita about broken pieces.
It's on my mind.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, put it on the paper, Leah. We
I
also
mean,
have,
it's on my mind. It's on paper.
and
I'm working on it, baby.
I haven't really gotten a lot of copy from other people, so I
Yeah,
about cancer, how my life was at that point, and I started writing about my cousin and her blindness. And I don't want to only use me in that. I want to use as much as I can get from other people. Joanne wrote a poem. My friend Jerry from Michigan, who used to be on DC, she's no longer there because she got very sick. She had a stroke. She had other things happen to her. She said she finally wrote a piece for the book, and she's sending it to me through somebody else because she still can't go on the computer.
Okay.
So I cannot wait to read her copy because she's an excellent writer. And not only that, but at least you get a feeling like she said she has a feeling by my recruiting people. I always think that I'm bothering them, but she said it gives her a feeling that she's useful. And when she said that to me, I said, so now maybe I shouldn't feel so bad when I ask people.
right, absolutely.
Yeah,
And
but I always
you
felt like, hey, Harry, you're asking them again. But if we can help one other person, and that one other person helps another person,
yes,
that's how we do
yeah.
it.
yeah,
I'm gonna,
It's
I'm hoping.
so vital, I think, for
I,
our for supporting each other,
right.
also for supporting ourselves and our own health. That we do that, and
About each other
like
today.
like you said, when we're not kind, when we don't show that, we actually have to draw up some kindness towards ourselves for failing.
Exactly. That's perfectly said.
So
That's
that's difficult. But yes, broken pieces. I think there are
so many
so
things.
many people who have so much to say on the topic, but I guess it's just not. I guess it's not connecting with everybody at the right time. Or people are busy or they're depressed. I think the pandemic has made people quite apathetic, Lynn.
No.
In general, I've read this that there's a lot of apathy,
Well, I
and
think
people.
like you said, it's a pandemic. The pandemic
Yeah.
basically has made people very grumpy, to say the least.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm getting the same writer as I get for every other book. Joanne was first, as she always is. She's fresher than I am. It's not a contest and who gives what or how much. The point is that we get to write from our hearts, and sometimes we need to release
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, it feels good
Yeah,
to do
I
so.
agree.
But I think that it's possibly why that you're getting so little response is because I've read quite a lot about this lately in different articles, and that the pandemic has been so stressful, so constantly, such a constant stress that it's tired us out. We're tired. We're more tired in our heads, and less able to be creative. For a lot of people, not everybody, but many people are less able to be creative. They're less able to be their usual gung ho self. You know, it's just a little bit difficult. So I think that might be part of it.
Okay, so we're hoping that our next meeting, we're going to have Lisita tell us a little
Yeah.
bit more about healing.
Yeah. My question.
Yeah,
I want you
I look forward to that. What's that? What's that,
I
Lasita?
want to show people the art piece
Oh,
I did while,
What's this?
and I did another one while we were talking, and this one goes like,
Wow.
oh wow! I do like that.
Love
It's
that.
very organic. Very
So I'll
organic.
close with my question.
Go
Everyone
ahead, what's your
asks, yeah,
question, Taoufik?
it's so, if you
Very
had,
beautiful.
if you had the magic power,
Piece
it's,
of cake.
yeah, piece of cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you had the magic
What
power.
would you do to change this world?
Okay,
In
first,
yeah,
I would feed the hungry.
yeah.
That
Okay.
would be my, I wouldn't even have to think. I'm not even talking about
Yeah.
myself, and I'm probably starving too.
Yeah.
I would feed the hungry, take care of the poor that are living in the street.
Leah.
That's it. That's my final say. Go ahead, Leah.
I would be right behind Lynn,
You could be right next to me.
Yeah.
working to help to improve the the welfare of the very disadvantaged, of whom there are so very many.
and
Yeah.
I would bring peace on earth.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
that. We could use that, especially now.
Yes, please, please.
Main response.
Let's stop the fighting. Let's stop this
That's it.
Because
ridiculous.
Because peace will bring love, will bring solution. This is the main word. Yes. I will bring
Interesting,
peace to the world. Yes.
very interesting question.
By feeding the poor, you bring peace. By doing some, yeah, peace is
the most important thing.
yeah,
of
the
all.
key word.
The most
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah, peace.
thank you for this week.
Okay, thank you all. I really do appreciate it. Namaste, and have a beautiful week.
Have Lasita. I'm really interested in
Yeah.
hearing, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will send the video later on. Okay.
Okay, this is an interesting
Yeah.
one to listen
Yeah.
to.
Okay. Love
Okay.
you.
Okay, love you all.
Bye-bye.
Speak to you soon.
Love you. Bye
Leah,
bye.
I love you more, Leah.
Yeah. Bye.
The lady.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.